Hey ladies and legacy builders, my name is Tasha. Welcome back to Tasha Mind Your Money. I'm a mom on a mission to budget smart, save boldly, and share with you our progress, one small step at a time. I'm tracking expenses today. It is Sunday, so I'm doing a little bit of a reset. I'm going to go through all the spending from last week out of 3 accounts that I mainly check. That's my joint main account with my husband. That's our operating account, and that's our bills account. This should be pretty quick. My baby girl, who is 19 months old, got to my book, so there's a little bit of a mess here. So if you're watching, I'm sorry for this visual. But if you're listening, it should be okay. I'm using one main highlighter to track food, gas, and household expenditures within the last week. And then once I finish out all the spending and see exactly how much we spent in those 3 categories, then I will project a budget for the last week of September. My husband gets paid weekly. We have side income that comes in randomly. So basically what we do is all week, whatever comes in, we gather it up, and on Friday we close out the budget. But I like to reset on a Sunday because it's the start of the new week. It's like helping to start your week fresh. So with all that being said, let's get into what the numbers say. From the 14th through the 20th is what I'm tracking. The 15th, I had purchased myself a treat at TCBY, and that was $3.26. So we had a balance of $5.51. That's what helped us. It was basically our balance forward for week 3's budget. On the 15th, we had income get deposited. We bought gas for $29.95. I Zelled some money. That was $50. I purchased some food that cost $13.07. I ate out again. The kids, the children, the 2 boys that I have, the younger boys, they had a good day at school, so I treated them, and that was $19.54 for cookies and ice cream. I went to Trader Joe's and I grocery shopped. I spent $49.68. We had a deposit of income come in. I went to Aldi. I spent $22.73. At Costco, I spent $72.21. Definitely trying to stay under that $200 a week grocery budget. And I did include the eating out so that I just wouldn't go over. We ate out again for $6.60. I do have all my receipts. If you're new here, what I've been trying to do, all of my receipts itemized, because this helps to remind me of what we spent. Now, I know you could go through your transactions via your banking app, or go online and pull your statements, but sometimes when you purchase from certain areas, you might be not buying food from Costco. It might be household expenses. So for me, I need to see the receipt to remind me, what did I buy and how much of that did go to groceries or food, and how much of that did go to household, like your cleaning products or your personal hygiene products. Like I want to be able to build a manageable and realistic budget from tracking all of these expenses. So simply going through my banking app doesn't help, because sometimes they miscategorize things. So having the receipts is helpful to me. Moving forward, there was a miscellaneous expense for $4.13. We had a purchase for household expenses. Thank you, baby. The purchase, let me see, for household was $36.73. That was a random thing that came up. We transferred $120 to pay the car loan down. We had more income come in. I went to Dollar Tree and I bought $5.97 worth of stuff. I think a calculator, this big old calculator that you might have seen me use in the last video, and another calculator, and a doll for my baby girl, like little things like that. We paid our cell phone bill. It's hard to see because of my 1-year-old's little artwork here. $68.69 is what we paid, but that comes basically from the bills account. But we can't set this up on automatic payments because they don't allow their app or their system doesn't allow for automatic payments from an account. They want an actual debit card, so I had to make the payment from this account. Emergency fund, we sent $25 over there. I purchased more gas for $20.04. This didn't affect the actual budget. So because we've been doing a little bit extra in side hustling, this $20.04 that we bought for gas is directly tied to the money that we made from the side hustle. So that's why I did not count this as a part of this budget, because it's coming from a separate budget. I hope that makes sense. At Amazing Savings, we spent $22.78. At Costco, we spent $14.07. And then we bought another pizza from Costco for $10.81. We purchased a drink for $1.34 from a local supermarket. I Zelled $7.97.31 to the operating account to cover the transfers we needed to make related to paycheck number 3 for the month of September. And then I purchased some food at Stop and Shop for $20.85. And this did come from our cushion, basically what was left over in the account after we did all of our money moves for the 3rd paycheck of the month. So let me just quickly highlight food, gas, and household expenses so I can total them up accurately. For food, everything after the 15th that we have here, or let's do gas, $29.95. Remember, this was directly tied to the budget, but this gas expense, $20.04, was related to the side hustle, so it's coming directly from money we earned from there, but that's why I'm not counting it. $29.95 for gas. $49.99 including the gas purchase that we made just a few days ago. Then we have food. So we start at this here, $13.07 plus $19.54 plus $49.68 plus $22.73 plus $72.21 plus $6.60 plus $36.73. Nope, minus $36.73 because that was household related. We did spend the $183.83, right, on food, right? That includes eating out. Eating out and groceries is included in our food category. So that was it. We had extra expenses closer to the end of the week, but this was coming from our cushion. Let me know what you would do. You count everything, right? You would count everything. We probably should do that. $183.83. I just hope I'm not confusing anybody with what's going on and like what's been happening. For food, $183.83, but we have some exceptions because we had spending out of our cushion that we need to account for to get an accurate amount of what we've spent. So adding to the $183.83, we still have $14.07 at Costco. That was pizza and hot dogs and things like that. $10.81 was one pie. Then we had $1.34 and then $20.85. So that's $2.30.90, right? $2.30.90. $2.30.90. And let me see, the $183.83, $47.07 was spent from our cushion. $47.07 spent from cushion. Basically, after we closed out the budget, we did some additional spending, or spending was posting to the account, right? Because sometimes it's pending and then it takes another couple days and then it posts. So that's what happened. $47.07 was spent from our cushion, giving us a total for food and groceries, eating out, all of that, $2.30.90. But when we closed out the budget, we had only spent $183.83. I hope I'm not confusing people out there. Okay, so the last thing is household, and we didn't spend that much after the within the second week, $36.73, but that was not budgeted. $36.73, and that was it. So $36.73 for household expenses. This was unbudgeted spending. That is sloppy the way I wrote that. Okay. That's it for the joint account. A little bit messy, but we got through it. For the operating account, we have $1.05 in there. We basically did our money moves. $7.97.31 came into the account. We transferred $141 to our tithing. $81.31 went to the bills account because some of what we paid one bill out of the joint account. So the rest of the $150 that we allocated to the bills account is what we transferred over. And then the mortgage account got $575. That left us with a positive balance of $1.05 in the operating account. For the bills account, we have a balance of $111.30 at the end of week 3, and we had an inflow. That was the inflow for covering some of the bills that we have to pay over the next week. We paid our life insurance, paid credit card debt, towards credit card debt, and we paid our Wi-Fi bill in the last week. That's what's cleared so far. Okay? And that's that. So now I can move on and just set up our budget for week 4, the last budget of the month. I should have done everything correctly this time, so my budget is good. We have a $1,300 weekly budget for the month of September. So let me put this here. We should be able to manage with that. I did not even pick a top priority. I was looking at an old video today of my October budget from last year, and I'm like, man, I see some growth, and I still see there is some room for growth from me. I wrote down what I saw my top priority was. Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but he who gathers little by little will increase it. So I'm just going to write this scripture, chapter and verse here, and gather little by little. It's okay to gather little by little. Okay, this is for September, what date? 26th. Okay. Paycheck number 4. And so we're planning for an income of $1,300. Our expenses will equal $1,300 because we do a zero-based budget. We're going to plan to give $130, basically the same for right now. Savings, we're going to save to our emergency fund. And the plan is $25, not changing right now. Investing is not going to happen this week, at least not from this budget. I think we'll do something different in October, but we'll see when we get there. We have cash that we need to pull out. So one, my household binder. I should put binder here because this is basically how I separate the money that we pull out in cash. We're going to add $30 to the household binder, and for $5 Mondays, the plan is still $20 for a total of $50 in cash. And then we have bills and expenses. Let's see. The bills account is going to get $150. Then we have a mortgage account. The plan is to put $575 over there. Then we have the car loan. Don't forget the car loan. The car loan should get $120. I was thinking about lowering it because, you know, things are a little bit tight and we have to catch up on the gas bill. I haven't really shared exactly how much is owed on there right now, but it's a lot. But attacking the car loan debt little by little, I see there's progress. It's slow, but the needle's moving. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to talk to my husband again. Car loan is $120 for food this week. All the things we need to eat to keep our bodies nourished and healthy, $200. For car gas, I'm budgeting $40 this week. I think that's everything for bills and variable expenses. I do want to add to our cushion. I don't know if I should be categorizing our cushion as a savings or as a regular expense. I'm leaning more towards expense. Let me know what you would do to build your buffer or your cushion. Is it a savings or is it an expense line item in your budget? Like, how do you group it? These are all buckets. I like to fill up each bucket. Most of our money is going to this bucket right now, but I like to create buckets to say, okay, investing, then we put everything related to long-term savings. We're investing here. Cash, every time you pull out cash, how much are you putting and where? Savings, like emergency fund, maybe a savings for like a vacation, a short-term savings, or like that kind of thing. Purpose funds, you may call them sinking funds. I like to have a separate bucket for those. How would you categorize cushion? That's basically what I was wondering. 575 plus 150 plus 120 plus 200 plus 40 plus 10 is 1095. Oops. 1095 is the total of our bills / variable expenses bucket. So what I plan to do, add this amount to the $50 in cash we're taking out, 25 to savings, and 130 for giving. Boom. We have a zero-based budget. So the total planned income minus the total expenses gives us $0 left to budget with. We want to start growing that cushion again. That's what we're working on, and nothing for purpose funds. So that's that, y'all. All right. That is our beautifully realistic paycheck budget for the last week of September. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's Sunday, so tracking expenses is a part of my reset. Setting up a budget for this new week, a part of my reset. I'm going to be doing some decluttering today. We are going to be doing some deep cleaning today. We're going to worship and get my praise on. And that's it. What is on your reset list, or what is on your agenda for Sunday this week? I love and appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you continue to mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.